Curtis Joseph, better known to hockey fans around the world as Cujo, stands as one of the most resilient figures in NHL history. With 454 career wins, the most ever for a goaltender who never hoisted the Stanley Cup, he played for 6 teams over 19 seasons, earning a reputation as an acrobatic, clutch performer who thrived under pressure. But behind the iconic mask painted with a snarling dog inspired by Stephen King's novel Cujo lies a story of profound hardship, despair, and ultimate triumph. This is the motivational tale of a boy who rose from neglect, poverty, and emotional turmoil to become a beacon of perseverance in professional sports. Born on April 29, 1967, in Keswick, Ontario, Curtis Shane Joseph entered the world under circumstances that would challenge anyone. His biological mother, Wendy Monroe, was a 16-year-old unmarried teenager who felt unable to provide for him. In a selfless act, she arranged for him to be fostered by Jean and Howard Eakins, nurses she knew from work. Jean believed she could offer the newborn a better life. Curtis was named after his biological father, Curtis Nico, but life took complicated turns. Jean later divorced Howard and married Harold Joseph, at which point she changed Curtis's surname and severed ties with his birth mother. Growing up in Sharon, part of East Gwillimbury, Curtis shared a home with 2 older stepbrothers, Grant and Victor, as well as step-siblings from previous marriages. But the household was far from stable. The family lived in a group home for men with mental health issues, where Jean worked distributing medications and sometimes helped herself to them. The environment was chaotic. Volatility, yelling, substance abuse, and neglect defined much of his early years. As Curtis later reflected in his autobiography Cujo, the untold story of my life on and off the ice. They say everything you go through in your childhood builds character and inner strength. He didn't dwell on what he lacked, but the absence was palpable. Visitors were rare in that home. Normal family dinners were a fantasy. Curtis often felt like an outsider, embarrassed by his surroundings. Poverty wasn't just financial, it was emotional. Equipment for hockey, the sport he loved, was hand-me-down and scarce. Yet, in those dark moments, seeds of determination were planted. Hockey became Curtis's escape, his sanctuary. He started playing late at age 11 because his adoptive mother initially deemed it too rough. But once he laced up skates, there was no turning back. As a kid with a dysfunctional family life, the young Joseph was in awe of his teammates and their seemingly normal families. He shared in interviews. On the ice, he found structure, camaraderie, and purpose. His natural athleticism shone through, even with worn-out gear. Curtis often speaks of how adversity forged his mindset. It made me who I was, he said in a CBC interview. The neglect and instability drove him to prove himself, not just to others, but to the boy inside who craved stability. He worked odd jobs, scrimped for equipment, and poured endless hours into practice. Advice he now gives young players echoes this: the mental part of goaltending is huge. How you carry yourself, how you see yourself progressing. You might have a bad practice, it's how you get over it and forget about it. His journey accelerated when he joined the renowned Notre Dame Hounds program in Wilcox, Saskatchewan. Living in an old trailer with 5 teammates, Curtis posted a remarkable the 7th of April 25 record in 1987-88. The program, known for developing talent alongside future NHL stars like Wendell Clark and Rod Brind'Amour, provided the family-like support he lacked at home. Coaches and billets became surrogate parents, teaching discipline and resilience. From there, Curtis earned a spot at the University of Wisconsin, where he went the 5th of November 21 in his only season 1988-89, and drafted, a fact that fueled his fire. He signed as a free agent with the St. Louis Blues in June 1989. Curtis proved to be a leader at Wisconsin. On and off the ice, noted Blues executive Ron Caron. Critics called him an overpaid, average goalie who is prone to injury early on. But Curtis turned doubt into motivation. Debuting in the NHL in 1990, he quickly established himself. In St. Louis, he battled for starts, overcame injuries, and emerged as a star. Traded to Edmonton in 1995 in a compensation dispute involving Brendan Shanahan, he found new heights. But Toronto in 1998 was where Cujo became a legend. Signing a lucrative free agent deal, he led the Maple Leafs to consecutive conference finals 1999 and 2002, posting a 1.338827 record and earning the Vezina Trophy finalist honors twice. Throughout his career, Curtis embodied perseverance. He played through pain, adapted to new teams Edmonton, Toronto, Detroit, Phoenix, Calgary, and mentored younger players. Hopefully young people will take away some perseverance and some inspiration, he said, promoting his book. Facts underscore his grit. First goalie with 30 wins for 5 different teams. Olympic gold in 2000 to the limited role. 7th all-time in wins. Curtis's advice to aspiring athletes is grounded in his struggles. You have to mature as a person and an athlete and a professional. He stresses mental toughness. Perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did, and embracing setbacks. Everything you go through builds character. Today, at 58, Curtis lives a fulfilled life near Toronto with his wife Stephanie and children. He coaches prospects, serves as a Maple Leafs ambassador, and raises his family with the love he once craved. His story isn't just about hockey, it's a testament that despair and poverty don't define you. With hard work, supportive mentors, and unyielding belief, anyone can rise. Curtis Joseph's path proves, from the depths of neglect to NHL immortality, the human spirit can triumph. As he says, life is good now. I've got a lot to live for.